Hi, Viper Chemistry students. The goal of this activity is to try to help you become more familiar with the groupings of elements in the periodic table. Um, and it's an interactive slideshow where you can actually label and then eventually submit this. So let's go down through here. There are some instructions, of course, that you just need to look through. You might have to do it a couple times. But anyway, let's take a look at, here's the periodic table, and you'll see some numbers, like, for example, at the top, 1A, 2A, so on and so forth. But anyway, the idea is to kind of help you see, like, what is that about? So read through this very carefully. Like, for example, there are groups, which are the vertical columns, 1 through 18. And remember that electrons or elements in these groups have similar properties. So those are the vertical columns. And now then the horizontal rows are called periods, 1 through 7. So that just means that we're going down through higher and higher energy levels. Okay, so they have some labeling. There is labeling that we'd like for you to become familiar with. So you can see here, there are the main group, there's the transition, metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Okay, those are the big main groups. But then it gets sort of like subdivided into, like, for example, each individual group. Like, for example, here are 4. Group 1 elements are the alkali metals, for example. And you can see the names of the others. But we also recognize the transition elements in the periodic table. They're the ones in the D group and the F group. So you have your S group, P group, D group, and F group. So the idea is to try to help you to see, like, how do we label that? Okay, metals, nonmetals, metalloids. Here's some definitions for those. Okay, so on this periodic table, this interactive slideshow periodic table activity, we're going to have you do some things. Now, so as you can see here, it says there's a text box above each group that you can type your number in. So what does that look like? So if we go down here to, this is the one, the interactive periodic table that you'll be labeling. And if you click on it, you'll see this text box pop up, and that's what you end up labeling. So then you would type in whatever appropriate number is. Okay. All right, and so that's what you're going to see here. There's, in the second part here, there's a text box for to the left. These are the periods. So you have your group numbers, then you have your period numbers, and the idea is just to click on those. Text box pops up, and you label them with the correct numbers. I'll say, then it also talks about identify the main groups by highlighting their groups. Okay, you highlight. So you will see then that, like, if you come all the way down to the next slide where you see a green box here. So here's where you would then use the green box to show the alkali metals. And so we have the alkali metals over here. So for example, what you do is just bring this over here. And then I think you can then slide it down or enlarge the size of that. And then when you click out of it, then it highlights that. So that's what we're asking you to do. We're not actually going to, so let me go back and change that back out. Let's move this over here. Okay. All right, and so that's the idea. As you click down through some of these others, you will see these highlight boxes to the left, and that you will identify then the different groups. Okay. All right. So um, good luck then on this activity, and please submit it when you're through. When you complete it, just hit submit, and I'll take a look at it. All right. Thanks for watching.